All right. Well, welcome. You, nobody's here but you.
I thought Joe would be here because she's here.
She sent an email. She's stuck in the office,
Oh, okay.
and so she,
Maybe I don't know.
yeah. We were hoping she would come, but with all the stuff going on over there, she ended up having to be there. So you got the email, of course, but you probably didn't read it. Yeah, that's okay. So it's just talking more about the fact that we're really moving into the fall now, and we're really moving into what's called the white dew chi node. And so this is the time that even though it's warm and dry, when you get up in the morning, there's dew on the grass. So if you can, get up in the morning and go out in bare feet and just shuffle through the dew in the grass. It's very good for you. It's therapeutic, and it's also got a lot of chi in it. The chi is coming out in the dew. And so to make that contact in the early morning and do some deep breathing with the dew around like that, very beneficial. It's a very interesting chi node. But we're also, we're moving into the fall more. And in the email I said, we laugh, we shake, we move to try and get the energy to smooth out and to get off of the skin and get into the body, because we're moving from everything's on the outside to everything's on the inside, right? From summer to winter. And so that transition is really rough, or at least from our point of view, because we just do a regular job every day. But the body's changing, like something's happening, and we don't really understand sometimes because we're not paying that close of attention. It's not our history to be paying attention. We just work every day, And so when the body starts to get achy a little bit more and we start to be a little more tired all the time, we kind of wonder, something must be wrong. I must be coming down with something. It's the fall. The temperature is changing, the type of weather is changing, the way that our body is reacting is normal, that's normal, and we're just adapting into the next chi node. And so in this chi node, like we talked about last year, about this same time, laughing is really good, right? Doing that shake kind of thing is really good. Doing stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you find an internal rhythm. It's like doing that set. That was Form 4 from the American Kempo Karate style. But it's very flowing, like a dance, right? And you can get the whole body to kind of move with it. And that's really beneficial. So dancing is really good this time of year to just loosen up, not dance, like don't go out and do a dance competition, but just kind of dance around and let the energy just kind of flow, and that helps it get off the surface and get down into the joints, down into the bones, into the marrow, and that's why marrow washing becomes really good. The idea of silk reeling internally, right? All that kind of grinding down and moving energy down into the body is really, really good, because this is the time that energy is coming in and down. And so that's what we'll kind of talk about or practice, actually. It'll be more what we're practicing. So any thoughts about that? No? Okay, let's go ahead and just start with just doing some quiet gong. So just stand in the standing position. Feel the feet level off so that you've got, your weight is in the middle of the foot and not up on the toes or not back on the heels. Bend the knees and straighten the lower back by tucking in the belly just a little bit. And then lift up the head to straighten the upper back and the neck. Point the arms, or relax the arms and point the palms towards each other and pull them out and back slightly to open the chest and round the arms. And rest the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, just behind the front teeth. Take a couple of breaths Just feel the body relax into the position. And at the same time, you might feel the energy kind of moving around in the body like you don't want to stand there. And so think about it falling down and drawing down to the feet and connecting down into the ground through the feet. And so from here, we're going to go right into 3 gates Gung. So roll the feet out as you arch the back, slowly inhale and rise up. And then exhale down, bend the knees, roll the feet back in, straighten the back and bring the arms down to their regular position. And when you're ready, again, inhale, rise up. Open the feet, the back and the arms, and then exhale down, close the shoulders, the back and the feet. And one more. Good. How did that feel? Good? Okay. So one of the great things about this time of year is that it is really easy to kind of get into that relaxed state. In the summer when we tried to do it, just things were like going and going and going, and it was really hard to get the mind to focus down. And now we find it very easy. You just kind of stand there and it kind of feels like things are out of sort. You know, things are still kind of going around. But as soon as you stop and relax for a moment and send the energy down to ground the feet, it just kind of really quickly goes into that nice relaxed state. And so in the relaxed state, it's much clearer and much easier now to use the internal intention and to guide the energy in the body to move with us and to flow. And so we use those exercises a lot more. The last couple of weeks we've talked about how the energy rises up the back. And then as we exhale, it spills over the front, kind of like you're standing under a waterfall or in a shower where the water's just running down the front of the body. As we move more into the fall, we want to see it as going really slow, like it's honey, right? And so it rises up the back really slow, and then as we exhale, it kind of runs over the front of us really slow. It's not like water just running off of us. It's just slowly moving down the body as we're exhaling, right? And then same thing on the back. Inhale, we rise up slowly, and we just kind of feel it slowly creeping up to the top of the head. And then we start the exhale, and it slowly runs down the front. So we're going to try that. We're going to just do a couple of the, like 3 of the quiet gong. And just in the quiet gong, without moving any of the body, we want to feel it rise, roll up the back, and then come up the top, and then kind of pause for a second, and then exhale, and it just kind of rolls slowly down the front. So you really got to kind of work on that long breath thing, really long, short, or really long inhale, and then a really long exhale. So just start in the standing position again. Take a couple of breaths to let the body and the mind calm down. And when you're ready, big inhale. Again, nice big inhale. And 3. And then return to regular breathing and relax. So it's opportune this time of year for that type of envision, you know, that intention and that visualization. And it helps us to slow down the body and relax the mind and the nervous system more because of where we're going, right? We're coming from the summer, we're moving into the fall, and we're going to the winter. It's going to be very quiet and very placid. A lot of stuff that we do in the wintertime is much more quiet and much more relaxed. And so this will help to adjust the focus, and it'll remind us that that's where our body is. We can feel it in the chi when we do the exercise. So one of the funny things about, for me anyway, one of the funny things about this time of year is that when we do the slow breathing exercises and the body starts to relax, we really start noticing the bones, the skeletal structure. We can feel the bones more. And kind of because of the way the year is, you know, the season, things are condensing and coming in anyway, so we kind of get achy. You know, things start to ache a little bit more. We remember, oh yeah, I remember injuring that. It didn't bother me all summer. Well, now it's going to bother you because it's that time of year again, and things are, and so we have to remind ourselves that's okay. You know, we just know our limitations, know where we are, and then recognize the things we can do instead of thinking, I'm going to run a marathon. It's like, do you run marathons? Yes. Okay, then it's great. Do you run marathons? No, I don't run marathons. Well, then don't just go out and run a marathon. It makes it difficult. So we don't, you know, we want to see where we are, know what our limitations are, but do it, you know, go out and do stuff. So the next thing we're going to look at is the moving Gong. And we did that last week, and I think we did it the week before. And so when we're in the standing position, and we're really thinking about the first moving Gong, we roll back on the inside of the feet to the heels, and then open the feet and open the chest and the back on our inhale, and then when we roll forward, everything just slowly starts to come back down again and relax back down again. And so we really want to put an emphasis on the expanding, so we're rolling the body open, so this part of the body is expanding, and that makes it open more. And then as we roll forward, and then it starts to condense or collapse, and then everything kind of folds in. And you can see it in my hips too, because when I roll back and I arch my back and my knees roll out for my feet, my belly kind of hangs out just a little bit, because that's all expanding. And then as I come forward, they all condense or collapse. So the stomach pulls in, the chest rolls in, the shoulders roll in, and I sink down at the same time. So it rolls back, inhales up, and then exhales forward and rolls down, and everything kind of rolls in. And so in a lot of cases, you can kind of see it as opening and then closing like this, right? So I've got the rib cage here, and as I inhale, I want it to open up to accept energy, and then as I exhale, I want it to close back down again to just absorb it or encapsulate the energy. And of course, this isn't really how it works. It's just things to visualize. It kind of helps you remember the moves. All right, so let's do that. So start in the standing position. Don't forget to rest the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Grip the ground lightly with your toes, kind of like you're hanging on. Lift up the head, straighten the back, relax the legs. And then when you're ready, roll back and start your inhale. And then roll forward and exhale. So. And then roll back and inhale. And forward exhale. So. And one more. So. And just relax there for a moment. Okay, how'd that feel? Good. Any questions about the movement? Do you feel like the movement's rolling okay for you? Good. Okay. So the second moving gong is a little bit more dramatic, and as we've talked about before, the second moving gong is really great in the spring and in the summer. And in the winter time, not so much, right? And so we're heading into fall, and so fall and winter, it's a lot smaller. It starts to go from this great big movement to this little tiny movement where it just comes up and just kind of rolls back and comes back in again. It's almost as if the plant starts to come out and realizes it's too cold, and it just immediately turns back and turns back in again. And so we don't need to bend down as far, we don't need to lift up as far, we don't need to bring the hands out as far. It just kind of is a lot smaller movement. So I'm going to roll forward onto my toes as I lift up my hands and bring my hands out. But you see, I'm not going any further than this, right? I'm not making a big move. And then as I roll my hands, I'm starting to go to my heels already and sink back down. And so there's a lot less of the movement, but it's still just as dynamic. So you come up on the inside of the feet, to the toes, and open, and then roll back to the heels, bring the hands back, and then settle back down again. So this really feels like it's all here and here, and we don't see it so much in here, but it's there, and we need to remember that, especially this time of year. And so when I'm down here, and I start this lifting up, I really want to lift up like this, right? So I want to arch my back just like I would normally do for the other Chi Gung exercises. And there's the opening of the chest, right? And then roll back, and as I come back, now you can see my back straightens, and my shoulders come back in again, and I kind of roll over a little bit. Right? So it's really still, the core still makes that big open and close. So let's try that. And again, roll to the toes first. Open the feet, the back and the shoulders. Bring the hands back as we go to the heels and start to shrink back down again. Tuck in the back and roll the shoulders and come down. One more. And so before we close this, we're going to do the opposite. So we roll back to the heels, bring the hands back to the hips, and then open. And then come out to the toes, and then close to the inside of the feet. Again, roll back, inhale. Roll forward as you start to exhale. Cross the toes and down. One more. And relax. So how did that one feel? Good? So, accept or? That's, yes, I know. It's the way, it just waits. Yeah, it's just the way it goes as we get older. So you see that the back, the core, remains very active, even though the hands and the feet become smaller and we don't do these great big stand-up kind of things and squat way down kind of things. But the core still remains very open and closed and all the moving. So it doesn't, that part won't change a lot until we get more into the winter, and then it's more sedentary and the movements are more inside, right? We're thinking all this expansion and contraction, and we're not really making a whole lot of movement, right? Because we don't want the wind, the cold and wind condition to invade. Okay, so the last one we're going to look at, as we've got about a minute left to go. 3 minutes? So this time of year, again, this is a really good time for the Do Chi exercise and the brushing exercises. So laughing is good, kind of just doing goofy things or silly things to get the energy off the surface and get it out of the system is really, really good this time of year. So you ever get it, or if you get a chance to join in a group that's just kind of dancing, goofing off or whatever, just do a little bit. You don't have to do a lot, just move around a little bit. Get a chance to laugh, see a comedy show, listen to a good joke, great things this time of year, right? So we're going to do the Do Chi exercise because it's a little bit more direct in releasing the energy off the surface and getting the energy to move down in the body. And we really want the energy to move down in the body. And so we really want to feel the weight of our arms and the weight of our hands all sinking down. And as I feel this bounce, I want to feel the bounce way down here in the hands until I go, and then I want to let it go and just let it all flow out. Yeah, so the whole body, you just kind of get the whole thing to wiggle. There you go. And then come to the middle. And then up high. One more, down low start. And then in the middle. And then up high. And then shake. Good. Okay, any thoughts? Any questions? Yeah, especially this time of year. Okay, so let's just do the closing gong, Chi Gung. So start in the standing position.
Right here, with this kind of a thing.
Which one? Where?
It's just about right through here.
Right in here?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
You stand most of the time, right?
Yeah.
You don't sit a lot. You stand most of the time. So it's posture related.
Oh, okay.
It's your posture, and it's.
So doing stuff like this, would that help?
Yeah, real slow, because this time of year, if you just like go like that,
Yeah.
you could tweak it, really easy. They're real sensitive. But it's related to the lungs, the diaphragm, and the bottom of the rib cage. And so that's part of why the breathing is so important this time of year, is slow, relaxed breathing helps to calm the diaphragm down. The Do Chi exercise helps to release it, right? And that's so even though it feels funny when you're doing that exercise, it's when you go here that you feel it, right? Not here? Or do you feel it here too? When you're down, yeah. So it's trying to hold on to it, and you're trying to get it to release. And so it's, you know, it's bound up. And the diaphragm, the lungs, that's this time of year. You know, it causes those things to be a problem. So start in the standing position. Just relax the body. Feel the energy drive, or the weight of the body drive all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. Connect down to the ground. And when you're ready, turn the palms out. Inhale, rise up. So take a breath at the heart and lungs. And again at the Dantian and Mingmen, just about the belly button. And at the bubbling spring points on the bottoms of the feet. Take a couple of breaths and really feel the feet flatten out against the ground. Feel the connection between the feet and the ground. And when you're ready, palms out, inhale, rise up. Take a breath at the heart and lungs. And at the Dantian and Mingmen. And at the bubbling spring points, the bottoms of the feet, allow gong points. Take a couple more breaths. Just feel the energy creeping down into the ground like roots from a tree, slowly making their way down into the ground from the bottoms of your feet. And when you're ready, palms out, inhale, rise up. Take a breath at the heart and lungs. And at the Dantian and Mingmen. And the bubbling spring points, the bottoms of the feet. And a couple more breaths. Feel the energy deeper and deeper into the ground, connecting from the feet down into the ground. All right, any last thoughts or questions? No? Well, thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of the day.